What's going on, YouTube people, and wherever these videos happen to go, because I've been told that some of these videos have made it to the other side of the world. Crazy. And also TikTok, wherever TikTok goes. All right, guys. So this particular video is about a specific form. See if I can pull it up here in 1 second. Called the FS 581. Now, I've seen where this document was mentioned before. Now, understand this. I am not saying that this is the official certificate of non-citizen nationality. It's not what I'm saying, because it's not what the form is called. But what the form is really called is the Department of State Citizenship Determination Form. Now, we do know that sometimes they kind of, challengingly name documents things, and we're not going to say they hide or, you know, you get what I'm saying. All we're going to say is that in coming across this particular form that's on the internet, so and none of the information in this particular document that's going to be depicted shortly is to be considered truth or somebody's personal information. This is just all educational information, and it is a sample from the internet. Okay, so it has been by another person depicted as this is how you should fill out this form and get it notarized so that you can use it in place of or as if the certificate. Okay, so I did make a video on how you can common law do your own, because once again, they will not give us the certificate upon request. And thus far, I have not seen anybody present me with the certificate of non-citizen nationality that they have it, or I've never even seen it. Can't even find it on the internet. Looked all over, can't exactly find it. Bits and pieces of stuff that are in it, not it. So this does not say that you are to send it in, but maybe if you do, maybe you'll get it. I don't know. Or is it just for you? Let's take a closer look, though. As always, guys, if you see any of my information, likenesses, logos, or whatever else, make sure that you guys report them for bullying, slandering, defamation of character, and all the good stuff, because they're traitors to the United States of America and obviously operating as foreign agents and trolls. One of the same thing. It is what it is. All right. So thank you in advance for that. As always, you can find my information on Black Site 32, along with all my other social media outlets and platforms and all other good stuff, consultations, and what's nots, who's it's, and what's it's. So to all my Whovians, wolves, wolvettes out there, let's get going. Share the screen, my good man. All right. So this is found on the Internet Archive, and this is just going to be labeled as Dave. Okay. Not to be construed as the real Dave, if there is a real Dave. So, but this is just basic information. Okay. So, United States or U.S. Department of State questionnaire information regarding or determining the U.S. citizenship. Now, right off the back, I don't like how it doesn't have nationality here, but from what I understand, when you see the U.S. they're talking about the real United States of America, though it's only abbreviated with U.S. Now, you can construe the information how you see fit. That's up to you, but we're going to go along with it. So, because we now know that the federal government operates differently and on a different jurisdiction than the state level. Okay. So they are supposed to be de jure. Okay. There we go. All right. So the following information is needed to determine your present citizenship, lowercase c here, status, and your entitlement to consular services as a U.S. citizen. You may wish to consult ART, attorney, before completing this form, if you have any questions about the form, you should discuss them with a member of our counselor staff before completing the form. Use extra paper, keywords here, as needed, and attach any supporting documents to this form. So some people would argue, if you want to, go into it, that it really should say citizens of the United States and not U.S. citizens. So they use them interchangeably. It's kind of aggravating, but anyway, name. So here, as educational and sample purposes only, this person is going to put date and place of birth. So the city and then the state. Okay. I also would probably have put USA here. Okay. Your address, no zip code. Passport, if you have it, especially if you've done it as a state citizen, would go here. If not born in the US, citizenship was acquired by what? Birth outside the United States to the United States citizen and parents, or naturalization on these particular dates. Now, depending on how you want to go about this, your naturalization was essentially the date you were born, but see here it has court. So this really wouldn't apply. So you don't want to do that, because the way they're using naturalization, meaning that you came here and you got naturalized, not your true birth naturalization. So different things. Okay. So don't use this one. You would click number 4 and then the first option, birth outside the United States to United States citizen or parents. Now, me personally, not saying you should do this. I'm just saying what I would do. I probably would cross out citizen and put national right here. National parents, or maybe mark off citizen parents, national parents. And then I would probably use code 8 U.S.C. 1401, and you could put A, though it doesn't have an A, but it just means the first option, which means you were born as a national. Here, this particular example would be, these are the counties I've lived in from these dates since I was born to present. So, and you notice here he doesn't put state of Indiana, just puts Indiana, because that represents the republic. You can even put Indiana Republic if you want, or Republic of Indiana if you choose. All right. 6, answer this question only if at birth you became a citizen. Now here, notice how they have citizen of the United States. Okay, so this is what we want to see. So maybe in this person's example, maybe that's why they skipped 4 instead of writing anything in, which I don't think there's a problem with writing it in, but they skipped it and went down to here because you don't have to answer every question. So if you were at your birth, you became a citizen of the United States, which according to Colonel Von Wilson, Copper Moonshine Stills, this is the proper determination or definition here, right here. I've come to understand that this is true. However, this also means all of the words or statuses and standings that can be used to be in here. But this would be more so the proper. I would use this before I would use U.S. citizen. Okay. So answer this question only if at birth you became a citizen of the United States and of, it says, and of another country. For example, if by your birth in the United States you became a U.S. citizen and because you one or both of your parents were citizens of another country and you also acquired that country's citizenship at birth. So here, this person decided to go with yes. And then the answer was yes. I, David, am an Indianian. Okay, so Florida would be Floridian, New York would be New Yorker, and so on. A citizen of the several states. This is true. And here he put capital C. Okay, and non-citizen national and a non-resident as prescribed by law. Here he decided to put in some information to help these people understand what he's talking about. So 19 Corpus Juris Secundum 883, United States government is a foreign corporation with respect to a state. This is true. Now here he used 8 U.S.C. 1101A or 21A. I don't like this one, and I think he's mistaken in this one because in their definition, this, when you look up the term state, it says when used here, Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia and its territories, does not mention the geographical nor continental United States of America. So I wouldn't use 21A. I would use 22B, which is what we've said since day 2, which states that the term national of the United States means a citizen of the United States. Okay, we don't want that one, so we go B. Or a person who, though not a citizen of the United States, owes permanent allegiance to the United States. Okay, so he's got that. So he goes here, this, found at 8 U.S.C. 1101 B. So he's going with that one. So not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States corporation. So here he points out the dot is talking about the corporation. Okay. And or the corporate state of Indiana. So this is probably the better way to write it up. Okay. Then he says, I, David, give notice of 8 U.S.C. 1502, certificate of nationality issued by the Secretary of State for a person not naturalized citizen of the United States for use in the proceeding of a foreign state. So this would probably be a good code to use, guys, right here to back up that. Now, obviously, he didn't attach that. If he did get it, I highly doubt he did. But if I was going to do mine, probably will, I would include this particular piece as well. Okay, so let's go on to this next page, see what else we got here. Have you been naturalized as a citizen of a foreign state? So he puts no. Now, okay, so B, have you taken an oath of allegiance to a foreign state? He decided to go with yes. Okay, so if this was me, have I been naturalized? Depending on how deeply you want to read into this, have I been naturalized? So did I go to another state, which the Republic states would be foreign, and was I naturalized there? Well, no. You could, some people might want to argue yes and say that, yeah, I live in Florida. Technically, Florida from Arizona is considered foreign, though they're all together. They are their own landmass, and I've lived there long enough to be considered foreign. So you could go either way. You have to justify your answers. Okay, which is why you can attach an additional sheet to this if you want. I personally would say make a copy of everything. You have at least 2 or 3 of them, have them notarized, and maybe send one off to the Department of State and see what they say or what they respond to you with. If you do this, hey, let me know. Maybe I'll make a video on it. Okay. So did you take an oath? Well, in this case, he's saying yes. So this is a little, depending on how you want to perceive this, it could be a little weird. Probably should have went, no, I didn't get naturalized there, and no, I didn't take an allegiance to anything. Well, if you're going to say this, taken an oath or made an affirmation or formal declaration of allegiance to a foreign state. Well, we know that the United States corporation is foreign in relationship to the United States of America, so maybe that's why he chose yes here. Have you served in armed forces of a foreign state? No, unless that applies to you. Accepted, served, or performed the duties of any office, post, or employment. See, this is why they use the word employment. And your all capitalized name is an office. It's an official business of the United States, but it is it. Okay? Not you, not the living you. Then have you, now look at this. Renounce your U.S. nationality. So here they throw in that little bit. You finally got to it. They didn't say U.S. citizenship. They said U.S. nationality. Because if you renounce a U.S. nationality, which is different than U.S. citizenship, they got you. You lost your private side right here. And in most cases, they will use this to renounce both of them. So if you're going to do something, be specific on what you're renouncing, U.S. citizenship or nationality. Otherwise, they may assume that it is both. Do not do it. Okay. So only if you answer all the questions no, then you need to do this below. Okay. So if you do choose no, then it says return this form. So apparently they do want you to return the form, but if you've answered no to all of these. All right. So just keep that in mind when you're doing yours. If you answered yes to one or more of these questions, continue with part 2 or 3, not both. It just says or 3. Got to pay attention. So 2 here, this guy is saying that he wants to, this is a voluntary statement to relinquish your U.S. citizenship. Notice that doesn't say nationality. So I would tell you not to relinquish either or, really, because you might want to use that citizenship at some time in the future. But if you feel strongly that you want to do that, you may. But seek professional assistance and counsel before doing that. So he put his name there, and here you can swear out. You have a notary do that. Now, I've already done this with my U.S. citizenship only, not my nationality. I'm not saying you guys should do this because, from my perspective, when I did mine, I informed them that though I, the living person, am no longer a U.S. citizenship, while maintaining my nationality as a national of the United States of America and my own private nation, operates separately and independently and tax exempt, agree to that. Because I know that the birth certificate, it itself is the U.S. citizen, not me. Okay, but you do your own. And remember, guys, no matter what you see on mine or some other person's channel or some guru trying to look cool and telling you to do this, do that, do your own research. Do your own research before doing anything. Make sure you know all the ins and outs. Once you leave the party, it might not be so easy to get back in. Okay, so that's part 2. Part 3 says, please check yes or no. Are you, no, look at this. Are you a national? See how they kind of slide it in there? These forms do not read real straightforward and easy. I mean, they're straightforward and kind of easy, but there could be what's considered some hidden things in here. Also, notice how they use the all caps here. And then over here, yet they use all lowercase. So we know the caps mean something different. But on the government level, they say that the use of the all caps in their jurisdiction, which is supposed to be de jure in American, the capitalizations don't mean anything. They only mean something on the state level. So, are you a national, like love the word, or citizen of any other country other than the United States? Well, we don't know which definition they're saying the United States is here. So this person went yes. They said, if so, what country? Now, we know that the republic of each landmass, so Indiana, as just here plainly put, is in fact its own country. The word country is synonymous with the word state. You could have, if I were doing mine, I would put like Massachusetts and then USA. That's how I would do mine. If yes, did you acquire that citizenship in the foreign country by what? Here he put birth. Was it by marriage? Nope. Naturalization? Nope. If other, please explain. And then he's just going to say, yeah, I was born in the land known as Indiana. I was born as a citizen of the several states, which is how they refer to the geographical or continental, which is what I would also put in there. United States of America. When did you first become aware? I don't have to answer that. Not available, not available. Okay. Number 4, describe especially as you can the act or acts performed as indicated in part 1, item 7. So once again, he goes, I was born in the land known as Indiana, a state of the several states who challenged the jurisdiction of the prosecution and court and was refused, cause, number, blah, 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 blah. So, but he basically put, this is in pursuant to Title 28, U.S.C. 1602 and 1611 Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act, which allows for the jurisdiction of the court to be challenged. This is also good for court cases. Cough, cough, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And a demand of proper jurisdiction to be stated. And he quoted July 27th, 1868, 15 Statute at Large, Chapter 249, Section 1. Acts concerning American citizens and in a foreign state. Okay? You can put that in there if you want. Do your own research. You are grown. You're responsible for your own thing. Now, number 5 here, he says, see attached affidavit and a certified copy of the birth certificate. People out here talking jazzy. Oh, you don't need to authenticate. Now, you don't need to authenticate in all actuality the birth. Wait, hold on. A certified copy, it's already done. It's in the correct jurisdiction. But can you? Yes. Is it extra or yes? Okay. Because if it's a certified copy, it means it's a copy of your original, usually your certificate of life, birth, or whatever original document. So from the time since we first started doing this, some of this information wasn't quite as clear as it has become now. So to update that particular information, how can you tell if this is what's done? A certified copy is going to have all the seals and things on there and all of your birth information and whatnot and what forth. Okay. But if you decide that you want to, yeah, you can do it. It's not going to hurt or anything. And no one's gotten into any trouble because of doing that. If you want to make sure that everybody's on the same page, it's in the right jurisdiction, yeah, you can spend $20, whatever it is. It's not mandatory, but if you feel so way, do what you want to do, not what anybody tells you on YouTube or any other channel. Okay. So, number 6. Did you know that by performing the acts described in part 1 of item 7, you might lose your U.S. citizenship? Please explain your answer. Yes. The fact of the matter is, ad law shows that I, David, blah, 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 never was a U.S. citizen. So notice how he put U.S. citizen. Here, also here, not being consistent, didn't put the dots in between there. Okay. But anyway, you get what he's trying to talk about. But is in fact a non-citizen national. I would also put state citizen, national of the United States of America, and non-resident instead. See claim of status affidavit. 7. What ties did you have to the country where you performed this act? Well, I was born in Indiana, the land known as such. Okay, now once again, here, he got it right. Okay, now maybe in the other section where he put the A, he was just using that as a reference to say, yeah, this is also part of it, but that's not me, which is why he reiterated it. But he goes, what ties do you have to retain the United States? For example, do you have a residence? See, they want you to say you reside there by using your zip code. Have property there? Family or social ties? Can you vote? These are all these little things. Do you have an income tax? Any of these things can prove that you are a U.S. citizen. So instead of answering all of that, he just goes, look, here's the code. 8 U.S.C. 1101 22B, which I've been saying since day one. Everybody was on that 21A or, whatever else. Nope. I have not wavered. I have not faltered. Those are my beliefs and my faith, and it's good to see somebody else put it out there as well. And this was long time since been out there in the public. This person did their own thing. Here they've got a signature and a date. Your answers on this form will become part of the official record in your case. Before sign this form, read over your answers to make sure you're certain. If you would like to provide additional information, believe it's relevant to determine your status, you may attach separate sheets of information. So I would probably, you can also get it notarized right here if you want. Let's go back and see something here. If you're going to relinquish, be careful, be careful, be careful, but then your notary is here. So you probably don't have to do it on the next page. You can, or have them do it twice if you choose. It obviously doesn't say it's mandatory. You have to be in all the things I talk about or any of these other, gurus or whatever else, or knowledgeable people on the same path working for the people, not for profit. Oh, see what I did there? Ow. Use some Vaseline on that one. You can do and move how you want to move, but you have to, at the end of the day, be able to say, this is why I did it and stand on it. Okay. But be very careful in your determinations before doing anything from anybody. So once again, this is the FS 581. And here you can tell by it says this will be part of the official record in your case. So to me, this sounds like they do want you to send this in no matter what, really. Because if you just do this for yourself and have your copy, then they'll never know this is how you've done it. You can stand on this and use this for yourself, but if you want them to possibly send you that certificate, I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying if you send this in, they're going to make a determination. That's what they said. So they will probably send you something. See right here, it says you believe a relevant to a determination. So in fact, is this possibly the certificate of non-citizen U.S. nationality? I guess we'll have to do it and see. And if you've done it already, let me know. If you've done it and got a response favorable, let me know. And even if it's not favorable to what we're talking about, let me know. I'm going to do this for myself. And when I get that result back, I will let you guys know, for better or for worse. That is what it is. All right, guys, that is it. So once again, we are now crossing into new areas where I have not done some things, and these are new things. Normally, I just would have done this already and then waited a couple of months before I heard back, and then here it is. So, but what I'm changing, how I'm changing things up, is I'm showing you how I'm moving. Okay, so we're going to do things that are coming in, but I'm also going to show you things that I'm beginning. Okay, and I'll tell you this. Okay, nobody out here in YouTube, unless they are a trained professional, is an expert at anything. I don't care if you've done it for 40 or 50 years. They're not a trained expert. They're not a professional. They're really good. They might be a common law, if you will, expert, but nobody has all of it. You know why I know? Because you don't work for the state. You don't work for the government. So how can you possibly say this is the only way, the right way, the best way? Don't do this, other than by your own experience. But if you don't work for them, you don't have their books on how and why legally they created that particular document and all the ins and outs listed for you with a document as a legal professional from them, you can't say SHIIIID. Id. Okay. So that's why it's funny when all these people are so big out here saying, you know, this is la 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 la. Show me the documentary evidence that you can do it with that form or you cannot do it. No, these are things that you guys must do on your own. Validate the information as much as possible, vet the information as much as possible. But at the end of the day, we will never, I'll be the first person to say, I will never fully know everything that you can do or not do with some of these files or processes because they're never going to tell you that. I've talked to them. I've talked to countless states on this, a lot of this information, and they go, that's internal only, or that's for internal processing only, or that's for the legal department. So all you can do is learn from somebody who's gone through it enough and gotten the results that they wanted to from their own experience. And that's all this is, guys. At the end of the day, and once again, I've already started to see the hate from some of these gurus out here, and that's what they are. Guru, I know it all. Look at me, look at me, look at me. You don't need any of their stuff. You don't even need any of my stuff. I'm just going to keep it G with you. Once you know what's going on, all you need to do is start to live and operate privately. If you do want to do some of the processes because you feel so moved, then by all means buy my stuff or their stuff. I don't care because there's enough money on the internet and in the world and through YouTube that nobody should be sitting here fighting each other over whatever you petty sandbox playing trolls want to do. Once you know what's going on, you merely do the process if you deem it necessary, if you deem it that you want to do it. The big secret here is you need to learn to move privately like wealthy people, and you compartmentalize like the military your actions. Have more than one trust. I'm just showing you guys things that I've done or I'm doing or I'm going to now do because I choose to. Just none of this stuff makes you better or free. These are only things that can aid you in what you're already trying to do. That's it. And if you guys go and buy the books, which I highly recommend, then you learn for yourself, learn the skill, learn the trade, learn the trait, learn to interpret and understand the information like all of us are doing. That's the only difference between me and somebody else out there. We're reading the same books. There's only so many books, there's only so many things, and we're interpreting the information to the best of our ability. We're then doing it. So there's more than one way, proverbially, as they say, to skin a cat. That's it. In this, much like most things, nobody is better than this person there. You can only say they've had more or less experiences on how they found the way through. We are all pathfinders. We've cut our way through it. I will never knock another person out there on how they've learned to cut a path through life. Because I'm a sophisticated grown man. I'm confident in mine. You need to be confident in yours. So, to other God fearing, light source people out there, and heck, even if you're not that kind of person, do whatever you do. I don't care what God you believe in or how you move. Just leave me and mine alone. Do what you got to do. But everybody, no matter what, is entitled to the freedoms and the liberties and the rights of the United States of America. And as a private person, a state citizen, a Moor, a national, or whatever your private micronation is, be blessed in your walks of life. God bless America. Take care of yourselves. And as always, if you guys see anybody using any of my information or materials or videos out there or clips of my videos out there in any kind of negative way, calling me a sovereign citizen or trying to, bully or slander, defamation of character, which are suable offenses, make sure that you guys report them in advance. I thank you guys wholeheartedly. Other than that, you guys know where to find more about me and my information on blacksite32.com. So thank you in advance. Also, you can find my information on my social media platforms. And for the love of God, do not get scammed out there by people in any of these groups. I don't care if it's even one of my groups. Most likely, it's not me hitting you up in the DMs because I don't do that. I don't have time to do that. And though I appreciate and care for each and every one of you guys, I cannot answer 100 and some, 200 and some emails a day and give people full help. If you want questions, go and pay for the fee. I don't mind answering one, maybe two, quick and simple. That's what it's got to be. Sorry, you guys are all grown. Time is money. And for the love of God, when you guys do see me joking around or asking a millionaire if they have it to send it to me, I'm being serious. If you want to send me $1 million or set me up with an account, hell yeah, I'll take it. That's just asking. If you don't ask, you don't get. But I'm not going to sit here and beg and plead. I'm keeping it professional. I'm just throwing it out there because everybody here has asked somebody for permission or a helping hand or a bailout or a grant or a loan or whatever else. So stop being silly out there. Jesus, go play in a sandbox with some of that retarded stuff people are doing out there. Anyway, that's the information, guys. So we will see in the future what that particular file and their response will be in the moments thereof. Take care of yourselves, guys, and each other. Keep the light in your heart. Try to be better than you were the day before. Keep breathing, dust off, relax if you need to, but keep going. But when you're ready. And remember, guys, you don't have to do this stuff your entire life unless you want to do it, like me and certain other individuals. Get in, get out. If you want to do this for a while, do that. Set up everything privately, compartmentalize it, and that's it. You don't have to continue continuing education unless you want. And once again, to reiterate, you do not have to do all of the things mentioned on my site or anybody else's site or whatever else to be free. Once you know what's going on, you are made free in your mind. And from there, you can choose how you want to operate. Public, private, both at different times, all through you. I have the power. I have the power. He-Man.